Imagine needing blood and discovering that not every person's blood can save you. Your blood looks simple. It flows through the same red-colored vessels. But hidden on your red blood cells are tiny molecular markers. These markers help determine your blood type. There are several blood group systems, but the ABO system is the one most people know. It divides human blood into four main types: A, B, AB, and O. Your blood type is not chosen during your lifetime. It is determined by genes inherited from your parents. And the strange part is this: these differences have survived for thousands of generations. Why would evolution keep several versions of blood? The answer may involve diseases. But first, we need to look closely at one red blood cell. Imagine a microscopic red disc. Its surface is covered with molecules. Some people have A markers, some have B markers, some have both, and some have neither. These markers are called antigens. Your immune system constantly checks what belongs inside your body. It learns to recognize your own molecular patterns. But unfamiliar patterns can trigger an immune response. This is why blood transfusions require careful matching. Give someone incompatible blood and their immune system can react. That discovery changed modern medicine. In 1900, Austrian scientist Karl Landsteiner identified the ABO blood groups. His work explained why some blood mixtures reacted dangerously. Landsteiner later received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. But the mystery became much bigger. Why did these blood groups exist at all? Why didn't evolution simply produce one universal blood type? One possibility involves infectious diseases. Some microbes interact with molecules on human cells. That includes molecules connected to blood group traits. A disease that affects one blood type differently could change survival patterns. Imagine a population facing the same infection for generations. People with one blood type might have a small advantage. People with another might have a different advantage. Neither type would necessarily disappear. Instead, several blood types could remain. This is called balancing selection. It is one possible explanation for blood type diversity. But blood type evolution is complicated. Different diseases create different pressures, and those pressures can vary between populations.
That helps explain why blood types are distributed differently around the world. Type O is especially common in many populations. Type B is more frequent in some regions of Asia. Type A is common across many European populations. And AB is generally the least common of the four major ABO types. These patterns are not random. Human migration helped spread genetic variants across continents. But geography was only part of the story. Disease also shaped human genetic history. One famous example involves malaria. Researchers have found associations between blood group traits and malaria risk. The relationship is especially interesting for type O. Several studies suggest type O can provide some protection against severe malaria. That does not mean type O prevents malaria. It does not. But a small survival difference can become enormous across thousands of generations. Imagine a population experiencing repeated malaria outbreaks. Even a tiny genetic advantage could influence which variants become common. Now consider the opposite possibility. A blood type that offers protection from one disease may have disadvantages elsewhere. Evolution rarely gives something for free. A trait can help in one environment and hurt in another. This creates a genetic tug-of-war, and that may help preserve multiple blood types. But ABO is only one blood group system. Scientists have identified dozens of blood group systems. Together, they contain hundreds of known antigens. The Rh system is another famous example. That is where the positive and negative labels come from. If you are Rh positive, you have the D antigen. If you are Rh negative, you do not. So when someone says they are O positive, they are describing two systems. The ABO type is O. The Rh type is positive. This simple label hides a surprisingly complex genetic story.
And blood types can matter beyond transfusions. They can affect pregnancy in certain circumstances.
They can influence compatibility between a pregnant person and a developing baby. Modern medicine can manage many of these situations, but the underlying biology remains fascinating. Your blood type is essentially a tiny biological signature. It connects you to your parents, it connects you to ancient populations, and it carries traces of evolutionary pressures that existed long before written history. Think about that. A microscopic molecule on a cell can tell part of the story of humanity. Your ancestors never knew what blood groups were. They never saw a red blood cell under a microscope. Yet the genetic variants they carried reached you. Some survived because they helped. Some survived because circumstances changed. And some may simply have persisted through chance and population history. So your blood type is not a simple label. It is a fragment of evolutionary history traveling through your veins. The next time you see a blood type written on a medical form, remember what it really represents. 4 familiar letters and symbols can hide thousands of years of human survival. Your blood is not just keeping you alive, it is carrying a history you inherited before you were born.